If you've come in contact with problems such as weight management, bloating, or you're just straight up losing hair like this right here, then it might be a problem with your gut health. Hello everyone and welcome back to Tush Trains. In today's video, I'm going to go over 5 gut health mistakes that's keeping you stuck. Without further ado, let's get straight in. So the number 1 mistake that's keeping you stuck is ignoring prebiotic and probiotic foods. People focus on probiotics as supplements and not actual foods. But when you take the supplements, they are not as good as the food. They often forget about prebiotics too. And what prebiotics do is to feed the good bacteria in your gut. So without prebiotics, probiotics can't actually survive. So you're literally starving them for the nutrients that they need in order to survive. So if you want to get some prebiotics, you need to have fiber-rich foods such as garlic, onions, bananas, oats, and asparagus. If you want to have probiotics, then you will need to focus on fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, and yogurt. I have to admit, sauerkraut, kefir, and yogurt are my favorite probiotics. And for prebiotics, my favorite ones would probably be asparagus, garlic, and onions. Now, just to back that one up, a study here shows that a diverse gut microbiome improves digestion, immune health, and weight management. Going on to mistake number 2, eating too much processed food. Ultra processed food can basically destroy gut diversity, and you don't want that. You want your gut to be populated with various strains of good bacteria. Ultra processed foods can also contain chemicals, emulsifiers, and the worst of all, artificial sweeteners, and they basically disrupt the gut microbiome. Now, in terms of artificial sweeteners, lots of people think they're good. At one point I used to think they were good too, but I realized that was completely wrong because I made no progress whatsoever. So processed foods basically feed harmful bacteria, and that leads to conditions such as leaky gut, bloating, and poor immunity. Your gut basically needs whole fibrous foods to repair it. And another study down here, emulsifiers in processed foods have been shown to directly damage the gut lining and increase inflammation. Going on to mistake number 3 is not giving your gut enough time to heal. So your gut actually regenerates every 3 to 5 days, but if you have trigger foods, this equals to no reset. So the trigger foods will actually trigger chronic inflammation or inflammation, and your gut will not be able to heal. Quick fixes actually don't work whatsoever. Your body and your gut need time. It's a very long game to play, so you have to be in it to win it. You need to actually implement elimination phases from 4 to 6 weeks. This could really help. And what you want to do during these 4 to 6 weeks is remove stuff such as gluten, dairy, and processed sugar. Now, what I would recommend is doing a diet like the AIP diet in order to find out what food triggers you have individually. Now, if you actually want to find out what you're allergic to, I would suggest to go and take a test. You can take a test, it's probably around £25 or 25 British pounds, and you can get that from Medicross. Essentially what you do is you send a hair sample to them and you get back a report in the post telling you exactly what you're allergic to. Now, Harvard Health basically says that intestinal lining can repair in days, but chronic inflammation delays it indefinitely. So this means that if you have chronic inflammation or you trigger chronic inflammation, it delays it forever, basically. And what you want to do is completely remove it so you leave no stone unturned. Going on to mistake number 4 is not managing stress. Now, what I just showed you at the start about that patch on my head, that started with the stress, the trigger of stress. So I had a court case which actually triggered that stress for me. And as soon as I had that court case, I saw one patch and one patch led to another patch. And it's basically when you see your hair visibly going, and that stresses you out even more, so it's a perpetual cycle. And what you want to do is completely remove that type of thing. Remove stress completely. So stress is equal to bad gut health, and you need to think about the gut-brain axis. This is where your brain connects to your gut. Chronic stress increases gut permeability and thereby triggers inflammation. Stress reduces good bacteria and slows digestion. So there was a study here done in the Journal of Physiology and Pharmacology, and it basically shows you that stress changes the composition of the gut microbiome and increases gut permeability. So what happens when you have gut permeability? Essentially, your gut is allowing foreign particles to enter your system, and this could be catastrophic. As you can see from the back of my head, lots of conditions like that can occur. And it's not just alopecia, it's other things too. So you really do need to be careful. In some cases, people have gone to functional medicine doctors and have found out that things like mold and otherworldly triggers actually trigger what they're experiencing. So do bear that in mind too. Now, mistake number 5 is ignoring hydration and fiber. This is a common mistake made by most people. Now, hydration is basically essential for bowel movements, and low fiber equals constipation, and constipation equals bad bacteria buildup. So you don't want that to happen whatsoever. So please do hydrate. You need to actually have soluble fiber along with this, such as oats, chia seeds, and beans. I just want you to know a little something. Oats, you have to be very careful with. You have to find out what works for you individually. Along with all of that, you actually need to have a lot of water, or you need to have adequate water that actually flushes the system properly. A study was done in the American Journal of Gastroenterology. It basically says that gut motility is heavily dependent on hydration and adequate fiber intake. So if you're not doing one or all of these things, you're bound to come in contact with a problem. So please do bear this in mind and bring that forward if you actually do have some type of issue. But gut health would literally solve most of them. So prioritize your gut, prioritize your health, and I look forward to hearing how that affects you in the comments. Anyway, thank you for coming to my talk, and I'll see you on the next one.